Hey, loved one. I want to circle back to relationships and tie it into dreams and visions. Recently, there is a loved one that I dreamed about, and I'm going to say that I actually had the dream like last year, now that I think about it, but the manifestation took place recently. And I had a conversation with him because in the dream, actually, my big brother Tosh was in the dream too. The two of them were having a conversation. It was him and the other person having a conversation. And my brother asked that person a direct question, and they said no. And what it had to do with, without me going into too much detail, is my brother asked if he was going to marry a particular person that he was involved with. And the person told my brother no, like he said it matter of fact. And I said, okay. When I woke up, I was like, okay, that was very direct. And you might wonder, well, why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because a lot of our dreams are very straightforward sometimes when God is really trying to get our attention. It's not always a puzzle, like a symbolic dream where it's dark speech. Sometimes even the words that are utilized by certain individuals and the scenarios that we have when we are seeing them in the spiritual realm are very clear. Just like he said no, that is a rejection. That meant that was going to get shut down. That meant that that relationship was going to come to an end. So then what did I do? This is where the action items come in, right? So this is where I've asked the Lord, should I say something to this loved one? And the Holy Spirit was absolutely yes, right? And I did. And I, as mommy would always say, tell a dream like a dream. And I told him the dream. I told him what my brother's question was very direct to him. And he did not hesitate and he did not stutter when he answered and said, no, like I am not going to marry that person. Well, let me tell you the tea. The interesting part of this whole situation was when I had this dream, this loved one was in the height of being in love, like this is my person, this is the one, they were introducing them to people and all of that. And their spirit and their mindset was the furthest thing from the dream that I had. Do you see where I'm going with this? This is why I always say dreams reveal the spirit of truth. Visions reveal the spirit of truth. So although it did not look like it and seem like it in the natural realm, they weren't there yet. That also falls into the category of a timeline dream because we weren't there. That was a prophetic dream, right? That was going to take place. His whole demeanor was totally, totally different in real life, in real time, than it was in the dream that I had. In the dream that I had, he was matter of fact, he had shifted, his spirit was down and all of that. Well, by then the person had manifested. They saw what they were dealing with, right? And why is this important? Because a lot of times we don't see stuff. We just don't. Sometimes God has to get our attention. It's interesting. I'm wearing this yellow top right now, but this kind of reminds me of a dream that I had a few years ago when I had a boyfriend and I dreamed that he cheated on me. One of the people in the dream had on a yellow outfit, and it was actually the person he was cheating with, right? And I remember when I woke up from the dream, I was so sure of what I had seen, and I felt so devastated and I felt so humiliated because that's how I felt in the dream. I felt very embarrassed. And I remember his attitude and his demeanor, like he just didn't care about how I felt or anything like that. And the dream was both symbolic and it was literal. It was just different parts of it that were actually both, okay? And I shared the dream with the boyfriend at the time, and he knew nothing about dreams. He was like, oh, that doesn't have anything to do with me. And then I shared it with my big brother, Tosh. Well, that dream manifested in about 3 months. And it's interesting because, and here's another kind of a sidebar about symbolism. In the dream, I was at my brother Tosh's house. Tosh actually means Thomas in Greek. And the best friend of my boyfriend, his name is Thomas. right? Or my former boyfriend, his name is Thomas. His friend's name is Thomas. Well, that was symbolic of my brother, right? Because this guy was like a brother to him and all of that. Without getting into the detail, the bottom line is that he let the enemy use him and all of that. And he cheated just like I saw. And I saw what the person looked like and everything. And I remember when everything manifested, I talked to my big brother and I was just like, when I had that dream, I just should have broke up with him right then. You know what my big brother told me? And it really encouraged me. He said, no. He said, your dream needed to manifest to validate the fact that it was accurate and who you are in the spiritual realm. It's like, almost like I needed to see it play out. Does that make any sense to you? Well, I also was very discouraged. And, sometimes when we have bad experiences, we're quick to say, I'm just through with men or I'm through with women. I don't want to be in a relationship. And maybe you do need a break so you can get some things together and heal, right? Because we need to do the work for ourselves. But what I knew about that situation, if I can be really transparent, is I wasn't in love with him. I wasn't. I knew I wasn't in love with him. And I knew that he wasn't the one. And what my big brother told me is, that had nothing to do with you. That wasn't a reflection on you. That was reflecting and showing and manifesting who he is. He said, don't take it personally. And when he first said that, I was like, well, it happened to me. How can I not take it personally? Think about what I just said. Don't take it personally because it wasn't something I did to him. It was something he did in regards to me, right? But I chose to take offense. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so the bottom line is the blessing in it is that he was showing me his location. And that's another thing that I've been sharing with people, that when people show you their location, just like on our phones, when you pin a place so that people can see where you are, that is very key because then you know how to navigate from there. You know how to move, you know which way to go or which way not to go because they have revealed their location. And so when I had that dream about a former boyfriend cheating on me, God was revealing his location to me, what his mindset was, where he was, his intentions, and all of that. And it really actually turned out to be a blessing. So I don't want you to be discouraged as it relates to when God is showing you things. Don't say that you don't want to see and that you don't want to know. You always want to know and see the truth, even if it's in the form of a dream or a vision. I hope that helps because God can use anyone. And when he speaks to you and he makes sure that you are quiet in a depressed state, and I just mean not depression, I mean when you are sleeping, when you are not distracted by anyone, that is the best time for God to spiritually download into your spirit. And so I want you to receive the truth because know, if you don't hear anything else, the truth will make you free. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you soon.